See how the stream looks now. Um, if you missed the first part or you saw a green screen, you didn't miss a whole lot. I'll be honest with you. Uh, we moved the Fourth Army up here. We're just moving them east. That's all that really happened. I did run some recon out here just to get a better idea of what's going on. So at the very start of the stream, we moved the Second Army up. They're back here west of Warsaw. We're moving them up. As I said then, we'll be moving things to the kind of eastern, or I'm sorry, the southern part of Army Group Center, and we will, have them kind of bridge the gap here between the Sixth Army, which will be coming from the south, and the Fourth Army, which will be advancing hopefully on Moscow. But the Second Army will be kind of down in this area, eventually trying to head here before winter sets in. If it can get all the way to Oral, excellent. That would be amazing. But we'll see. We'll see if that can happen. Yeah, so really that's kind of what happened. We did some recon. We did get some fuel into, I guess, some of the units in the second Panzer group. They got some extra fuel. I talked over that a little bit. Before we do anything at all next turn, before turn 4, we are going to try to get more fuel in here to the extent we can. And that needs to be done with your level bombers. And if you've already flown a mission, they cannot do it. So you have to make that the first mission that your level bombers fly. They need to drop off the supply first. Now, usually it doesn't take up a lot of their air miles, so you could very safely, run these supply missions, and then they will still be okay and ready to go for any ground support they need to do, any other bombing that you want to do. And so, don't feel like, oh gosh, I have to pick one or the other. Run your air supply missions first, then let them do the bombing that they need to do. We could also ratchet back a little bit. Our let's see, let's go to our air doctrine. We already cranked that back to 40. So, if you find that they're not giving enough ground support because you're doing air supply early on, air supply, great band of the 80s, by the way. Just kidding. Um, well, just kidding about them being a great band. They were a band of the 80s. A young strategy gaming dojo maybe liked air supply in the 80s. I don't know. Anyway, so we've moved the Second Army up. We've moved the Fourth Army up. What were we trying to do with the Fourth Army? Well, we're just trying to get them east as fast as we can. I usually kind of center them on Mogilev. And so, kind of think of that as a reference point, would be Mogilev here. But they also could go a little further north to Smolensk. They also could stay south here and try to come at Smolensk from the south. It kind of all depends what the Soviets are doing. Of course, it's all, it's dynamic. It's warfare, right? You don't know exactly what you're going to do until you get there to some extent. Okay, so last turn, or I say last turn, last episode, we're still in turn 3. We had already moved the Ninth Army. Now we've moved the second and the fourth. Oh, one other thing I'll point out, I did move the railroad unit up just so we don't forget, and I got some of these security units moving out where they need to go, and I put one down here in Brest-Litovsk. And so, we've got one back here. This garrison requirement should have been met. I do believe it's like Shift Q to see the garrison requirements. Well, we don't want to do that. It's not Shift Q, but there is a hotkey. I guess we could go up here and look and see what the hotkey is. It shifts something to figure out exactly whether you've satisfied the garrison requirement. Here it is, Shift K, show access garrison requirement. So let's just do that really fast while we're here. And as you can see, blue, red. Okay, well, let's bring that back up. So Shift K, there we go. And I believe, so the red you need 8,000, blue you need 4,000 with the doubling, right? So it shows what the requirement is, and you can kind of figure out if you have what you need there. Here in Kaunas, we have, I believe this security unit has over 2,000 men. double it. It's 4,000 since they're a security unit, and we have got Kaunas taken care of. Minsk will need, it's a light urban area. Let's hover over it just to make sure. Yep, it's light urban, so it's red. It will need 8,000. We'll have to get 4,000 in security forces there. That's why I'm moving these guys up. As you can see, there are a lot more places to garrison here in the center than there are in the north, of course. So just keep that in mind. All right, I think it's time to move our panzers here and get them rolling. So we have run some recon. Gosh, I would just sit here and run recon all day long if I could. We did, the one movement that we've made with 3rd Panzer Group is this kind of smaller motorized brigade. So it's called the 900th Layer Motorized Brigade. We moved them up here almost as kind of a scouting mission to see what was actually here. Now we know. And so I think what we're going to do now, you know, this is swamped. Like trying to get over the river here, you just don't have enough movement points. As tempting as it is, we're really going to have to go across here and then this way or this way. We're going to have to make that decision based on what we see when we actually get units here. So let's move our furthest away unit, which would be this one, in 3rd Panzer, and I'll get that Shift K off so we don't see the garrison requirements anymore. And let's get it up here. We also got to be cognizant of what's attached to what. So let's look at this. Okay, these guys are all kind of spread out. The other headquarters is here. All right, they're all kind of in the same place. Yeah, let's move this guy up here. And we're going to go north of the river, I've decided, I believe, and see what we can see up here. Okay, so we see an 11 defense. That's a little stronger than I was hoping for, to be honest. So let's move another motorized unit, this other one. Now they are in different cores, but that's okay. Let's move him up here. All right, now we have 35 attack strength. Let's go ahead and get this guy across the river, this headquarters here. We'll move him there. And we'll just double stack the headquarters here for now. They're in 15 of 15. Okay, well, we could move our group headquarters up as well. We'll just move him there. Now, let's go look at these headquarters and see what support units they have. They don't have much. This guy, yeah, they've all been pulled out of here. And so let's go assign some support units for these guys. We've got, Flammen Panzers. We've got a gun battalion, mixed artillery. We've got howitzers here. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. SP flak, we know that those guys, speaking of which, we could direct flak already assigned. We do. Okay, I just want to make sure that we've got flak. Now, we do not with this unit. Okay, so let's get an SP flak in here with him, which is a motorized flak company. We'll do that. So they will be, thrown into battle no matter what with these units so that they always have air cover, or a little bit at least. I say air cover, anti-aircraft cover, I should say. As a matter of fact, does this guy have? Yeah, we've already gotten some flak in with these guys. While I'm here, let's just check them all. Okay, we got some flak there. Let's see, just making sure. Yep, we do not have one here. So let's put an SP flak in with him so that he's always got some air cover. Did I already check this one? I don't know. We're about to find out. That's light flak. And then this one, light flak. Okay. I'd rather have the SP flaks in with them, but we'll see what we've got going on in the south before, I go ahead and, put all of those out. Let's put it that way. Hold on one second. Just want to make sure we're good on Twitch. Good old Twitch. so we've got these support, we're going to get support units into these headquarters, and hopefully they can help. I want to blast away at least this unit here, um, because it kind of opens up things. Now, I think what I want to do with these Panzers is drive them straight up here and try to get around. Try to get around the back of Vitebsk here, maybe all the way into Veliki Luki, and then do that. But as you can see, if you just look at the hexes, once we get here, we can turn south, and we have, I mean, we have some light woods, but we also have clear kind of all the way down to Vitebsk. Rocket Saka says it's all good. All right, buddy, we're here. We're doing things. All right, so let's get support units into these headquarters and see what happens. What are we gonna get? Well, we need some artillery. We could put the Stugs in here. They're motorized. Let's give them a Stug. Panzer joggers. Do we need that? Are we gonna run into any tanks there? I don't think so. Let's do a Werfer. We'll get some rockets flying. We've got more Stugs there if we want to. I call them Stugs. I don't know what they, Stug, S-T-U-G. They're basically just motorized guns. Let's put another flak with those guys, just in case the headquarters thinks we need it. Motorized, Panzer joggers. We've got gun battalion. Let's do a heavy howitzer. Let's do this howitzer. And we'll give them one gun battalion. That should be pretty dang good. Okay, so that's the 39th. All right, now we'll go up to the 56th here, and we'll assign some things. Let's do another gun. Mixed artillery, sure. Howitzer, why not? And another howitzer. What else? What else? We'll give them one or more of the SP Flax in case he thinks he needs it. We'll give him a Stug and a Werfer. Okay, so they should have a lot of things. If they want to commit them, they should have a lot of things here. All right, so we're just going to do a hasty attack. We have to at this point. So we're going to do a hasty attack. And as you can see, 105 to 1. So this is, we took more losses than they did. This is a tough nut right here. Which actually leads me to want to move him there and hit this unit. And he just scouted. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if you've got a good enough commander, and they go and they decide, no, I don't think we've got what it takes to attack here, you'll see that. They will just scout. I'm actually going to have him hit here again. We got a much better dice roll there. Now they held, but, we're just kind of trying to wear these units down. I'm going to hit him again. Okay, now this time he just scouted. He said, I've had enough. That's fine. I'm not really trying to push this way. I was trying to get him out of the way. Why don't we move... Let's move one of our better Panzers up here. And let's hasty attack here and hope we don't lose too many tanks, but let's blow this guy out. 7 to 1. All right, he just got knocked back, but he was in a marsh. So, we had some armored vehicles that got hurt there a little bit, but we only lost 5 permanently. Let's keep him moving along here, and we'll also move these guys up a little bit. And let's hit them again and see if we can blow them away. Yeah, retreated and routed, which is what we wanted to see. All right, now can he do anything? Could we hasty attack here? We could. Could we move there? No. All right, we're going to hit them too. We got pretty decent odds. Now, they're chipping away here a little bit. But we are pushing them back, and we're going to start building kind of a corridor through here. And how are we going to do that? Well, we've still got a lot of Panzers back here. Now that Okay, if he goes there, he's still got 9 left. He's still in command. Let's hit there. And as you see, you know, we're starting to push through here. Now, I generally like to do this with my infantry, um, but you kind of have this yin and yang of, do you wait on the infantry to do it? Because if you do, I mean, you run out of time um, a little bit. You know, you start to run out of time, and you've got to kind of push through where you can and when you can. So let's go ahead and go here, and let's hit them. Hopefully get them out of here. Now you can see we're starting to get to the soft units back here. And I'm saving this one back here to be kind of the final breakthrough unit, or what I hope to be the final breakthrough unit. Okay, they're not really, but we've moved quite a ways here. Oh, hey Dave Dennis, how's it going? Um, well, that's a great question. I have not played War in the East 2 yet. I do expect to get an advanced copy and play it a little bit. I would say, honestly, I would probably wait. It's coming out March 25th, right? So you've got about, what, 3 weeks. Hopefully, these tutorials help you kind of understand so that when when War in the East 2 drops, you have a very short amount of time. I'll put up some more videos saying, hey, here are the differences, or here are things that you need to know with War in the East 2 that weren't applicable in War in the East 1. Now we know the air war will be different in War in the East 2. It will be like War in the West. I'm actually going to do some videos in early March, so here, just like the next week, on the air war in War in the West. And so we should have everything covered. Now, of course, there are going to be some things in War in the East different. I love this game. I think it's, it's in my top 5 all-time games. That being said, you might as well, at this point, I would say wait until War in the East 2. That game, is going to have better graphics. They're going to have ironed out any of the things. War in the East 1, they pretty much squashed all the bugs or little things that people didn't think were quite right. But War in the East 2 should take all of that and even go to another level. So I would probably wait. If we were just sitting around talking about it, I'd say, yeah, just wait until that one comes out. Okay, so we've pushed our 3rd Panzers up this way, and now you see we're going to put really big pressure on the Soviets here. They have a lot of men, a lot of units here, and they're going to have to start thinking, are we going to get encircled here? 3rd Panzer can either go here and try to encircle a lot of them with 4th Panzer, or we can head directly east now and try to get behind Vitebsk. So the Soviets also have a quandary, right? They have to think about the fact of, well, we have to defend this as much as possible, but by the same token, we can't get encircled. That's constantly what they're thinking about, is we have to rush troops up here to stop the Germans, but if we do that, the Panzers might get around behind us. Okay, so let's actually move these infantry units that are in 2nd Panzer now. Okay, so I think we've done everything we can really do with this Panzer. Maybe we can let's move its air unit up this way so it's ready for next time. It does have recon craft in there. We can go ahead and move the main group headquarters up this way. That's fine. I think we're good up here. Things are looking good. I'm actually quite happy. We're going to be pushing up here. The 9th is going to start blasting into the Soviets here next turn. The 4th is moving well. Let's get the 2nd moving. Not the 2nd, I'm sorry. The 2nd Panzer Group moving. Now that we have a 2nd Army, I don't want to confuse those two, of course. And just pulling up the stream. Still looks good. All right. So I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see that. I think I've got it dialed in now for War in the East. Um, okay, so let's start moving these infantry units as far as we can, the Panzer infantry units. Now we still have them with the Panzer group. We may eventually move them, but we might as well use them right now to carve up as much territory as we can. I think I will either have them go to Mogilev or come down here and secure the crossing to Gomel. But that is TBD. So we'll just get them moving along the road here. Well, it's not a road, it's a railroad, but it's the smoothest territory through here. It's the fastest way to get through here. So let's just move the headquarters up here as well. That is under Schroth, who is only a 4.8. Let's go look and see if we can replace Schroth. Now I do want to save some points this time because the Romanian generals are not good. Yeah, he's a 5. I don't want to spend that many points. We need to get some of the Romanian generals out. You know, we do have some replacements here, some cheaper replacements. Once you get down here, a lot of them are 6s though. When it comes to infantry, we do have, yeah, most of the 7s we've already gotten into units, which is great. We do have one here, Vielle, but it's going to be 5 and 5 to do him, and so I don't really want to do that either. Yeah, it's always a question where you spend your points. When you start in the north and you play the north and the center first, be wary because I mean I'm saying I'm saying this to myself as much as anyone. Don't spend all your points in the north and the center. Save some for the south. Don't get down to where you have 0 political points to spend in the south every single time. I say as I point a finger at myself. And then Dave goes on to ask, do you know if War in the East 2 will be able to link up with War in the West for a full European affair? That is the dream, right? That is the ultimate dream. No, as of right now. I would imagine at some point they would do that. But I mean, that would be a massive affair, you know. One of the reasons they've never made War in the Pacific 2 is because the development time and money and resources and effort it would take to do that just is not justified for, you know, the people that love this game love it and consider it one of the best games ever made. That being said, it's still kind of a niche game. You know, it's a war game. It's a very dense war game, and so the amount of development time and money it would take to maybe do a complete war, European war game, who knows? You know, I don't think that they'll do it. They'll never do a War in the Pacific 2, or at least that's what they've said. So we'll see. But no, this version will not allow that. You kind of got to use your own imagination, I guess, to link the two, right? Okay, let's see. What now? Well, we're into the Panzers now here. The light blue 2nd Panzer Corps. This is really our best unit in the entire game in some respects. Now, we've really beefed up the 18th Army because I really want to take Leningrad. But the 2nd Panzer Group is really, you know, your meat and potatoes. I think what I'm going to do, I think we're going to have this group here, or this corps here. So this corps is under von Wettendorf, who's a 6.6. I think we're going to have them try to get across here and then come up behind all of the troops here at Mogilev. So let's have him start carving up territory. I say him, this motorized unit. Would it be better to do that? Yeah, I think it would be better to bring this guy from back. All right, and get him as far as we can to start carving out hexes for us here. Then we'll bring Das Reich, the SS, down here. Gosh, it's so tempting. Mogilev is so important, but I think we're going to have the Fourth Army, or generally you have to have the Fourth Army take that. Okay, he can get down here with 4. Can we get across the river is the real question. That's what we're going to try to do. What about if we bring the Panzer down here? What does he have left? Not a whole lot. All right, let's move Das Reich down here. Hey, we captured 2 tons of supply and some fuel. All right, so he just displaced them, and he can get here. Okay, can we now get him across the river? Oh, so close. Can we get the Panzers across the river? Hmm. Yeah, I really only want it to be this core that comes down this way. Now, I would much prefer to get across the river this time, just because of the movement point situation. Let's go ahead and move him here. And yeah, we just can't quite get him across yet. But we'll have them all, we'll triple stack them here at what will be the bridgehead. We'll get them across next turn, and then we'll get moving. Let's move the headquarters up here. They're all in command. That all looks good. All right. This is the infantry. They'll come and support down here, and also try to prevent any Soviet counterattacks or any idea of the Soviets trying to encircle our encirclement. Okay, so we're up to these guys, and this is kind of the northern, what I'll call our northern pincher. Who do we have up here? We've got Lemelson, who's a 6.0, and we've got Geir von Schleppenberg, who is a 6.6, also very, very nice general. Dave says, I would fund it up front to make War in the Pacific 2 to happen. Yeah, we ought to start a Kickstarter, right? I would put in money for that for sure. I would even donate. I would just say, hey, whatever I make off of live streaming War in the Pacific can go into War in the Pacific 2. Maybe maybe that's something we'll work on here in the future. Okay. Now, where do we want to go here? One thing I want to do is fly one more recon flight kind of in this area, right in here. Now, we see they do have some armor here, so we need to keep that in mind. Let's see if we can glean a little bit more about what's happening here. Might as well. These are just be wasted air miles if we don't fly them this time, so might as well just come out here and up what we know about this little area, because I think I want 2nd Panzer to push the northern pincher here to push right here. Now we could always hop the river once we get past right here. Hopefully, and maybe meet up here in the middle and try to pocket all of these troops. But that's ambitious. All right, I don't think we're going to learn much more. Let's fly one more over Smolensk. A couple of things popped up, but let's see if they've got. Can we see anything back here? Do they have anything more? I kind of get the feeling maybe they've just rushed everything up here, and if we can just break through, which we've almost done here, as you can see with 3rd Panzer, they got a headquarter, air units, headquarters. I mean, we're into their soft underbelly. Now, they may come with reinforcements before next turn, but I think we're starting to push into, their I call it the underbelly. I guess it's the overbelly up here, but we're starting to push in there. All right, let's get to moving these guys. Where are all of our motorized? Now we have this cavalry that is actually quite powerful. Let's push them forward first. I'm gonna kind of one thing with the Panzers, it's just very hard to get across a river like this. Now, I'm trying to do it here in the south, but I think they're under strength. We've run a lot of recon out in here. I think this is the only unit down here, really. So I think once we hop the river, we'll be fine. They may try to rush something up here. But when we get up here, trying to get across at Mogilev or trying to get across here, or trying to get across at Vitebsk, it is very hard to do. And so I think I'm going to just run this corridor with the northern pincher. Or I'm going to try to, right? First of all, let's move one space here, displace this unit, get it out of here. Now we've got this guy that can come up here and displace them again. So let's get him moving a little further north. He's at 5 of 5 now. Shoot. The reason I'm hesitating is, of course, we're going to be doing a hasty attack there, and our support units won't really help if we put support units in there. We can try. Let's just put some oh, whoops. Not him. Speaking of which, does he have a... He does not. Let's put a SP flak in with him, just so he's got some flak cover. And let's go to his headquarters. Let's try to put some units in there. But doubtful they do much good, or he commits them. Mixed artillery, sure. Gun battalion, why not? That's probably good. Let's move the headquarters. So let's move him there. Oh, okay. So you see this little parachute here. So the Soviets have, brought in an airborne unit, but it's only showing a 1 defense. And so let's hit him. All right. Now let's bring this unit into play. Now they're part of different corps, but again, they're still like mix match penalty. 4, 2. Okay, he's gonna sit right there. Yeah, unfortunately, most of our motorized units are down here, so we may actually have to use the Panzers, which I don't really want to do. But I also want to try to blast a hole. Now we got really good odds there. I have a feeling we just got some fairly weak units down here, and maybe we can get a corridor started. And then next turn, the Ninth Army will come and help. Oh, good. Okay, we can move him up, which will give us more. Okay, so that's a 7 defense, 13 there. All right, we got a lot of tanks. Let's bring him. I'm tempted to take this guy out. He's only a 4 defense and he's got armor. Let's do that, actually. And let's bring this headquarters up a little further. Get them a little more engaged. So next time maybe we can use support units with them. And let's bring him up here as well. All right. Now then, let's bring this guy. Do I want to triple? Yeah, let's just do it, and let's try to get rid of this unit. We're going to try to build it right through here. Okay, both of these guys still have points left. Let's hit it with the one that has less movement points left and see what happens. Okay, they occupy, or the population gets out of there. Had 6 damaged, not perfect, but we got 9 to 1 odds, 2 that are lost. Ooh, nice. Okay, so this unit retreated, but we routed out the armored unit and really put a lot of losses on them. So let's have him go right there, and then let's take that unit that still has movement points left, move him there, get rid of that, pop this, see what, ooh, not good odds. That's not what you're looking for right there. Just 1.5 to 1. I just feel like if we can get this spear through here, we've got room to run, so to speak. Let's bring this guy. Gosh, why is he using so many? Oh, he doesn't have very many movement points to start with. Let's bring him here. Yeah, these guys are getting low on fuel out here. This is a 6. Let's hit that. Not loving the way this is playing out up here right now. Now again, we'll get the Ninth Army up here to help. They did retreat. We lost 6 tanks. Not the end of the world, but not ideal either. We'll bring him up here. Oh, we have a security unit. Let's hit that. That should get blown away. Only retreated. Good for them. Those are brave souls. A whole Panzer division hitting you. Lost a few more there, but we should rout these guys. Yeah, we did. Retreated and routed. They lost 881 men. Okay, we've got no movement points left there. We've still got 2 here. Can we move him anywhere? I don't think we can. I think that's going to do it. All right, but you start to see the seeds of the plan, and it's not a big deal that our panzers didn't get a lot of territory this time, because they actually all need to refuel anyway. They need to get fuel. These panzers here are going to be very low on fuel as well. The railroad's catching up, though. You know, the railroad's coming down the line here. Where is he, as a matter of fact? I think he's right there. Yeah. So the railhead is moving, you know. We may actually take this one up here since we're going to have the panzers go north. Sometime, you know, if you're going to have the panzers go down here, then you would probably take it down to Minsk. And what I may do is just take this railroad up to Minsk because we've only got this one group of panzers that's going south. And so, you know, with these 2 up here, I may take this railroad unit and, you know, have it go through this way. And eventually it may, you know, come up here and then go south a little bit and down to Minsk and up. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But I do like this. I think that we've got a really nice opportunity to bag a lot of troops here, potentially either here or all of this Vitebsk area. I think we can get them. With this unit, we'll get around the back here and cause absolute havoc. Maybe even driving all the way up towards Smolensk. And then if we can, you know, push through here. Now the Soviets are going to be reinforcing every turn, but if we can push right through here, as you see, the 9th will come here and hold these troops at bay a little bit. If we can push through here, and we're seeing a lot of soft headquarters, routed headquarters, you know, there's a lot of softness right through there. If we can get through and get around the back of Smolensk, you know, as was historically true, this was a massive pocket that the Germans got a little, you know, a few weeks into the war. This is week 3, so this would be, you know, probably week 5, which I think is probably around historical time when, you know, a lot of these Soviet troops had to surrender. But as you see, we got the 4th Army moving down here. 2nd Panzer is splitting north and south. 9th is progressing. I can't wait to get back up here to the north. I think, you know, as the 18th Army moves in here, we can take Peskov, but I think we can also, one reason I wanted to move 3rd Panzer up here is I want to relieve a little bit of the pressure on 4th Panzer. It doesn't really have any place to go right now. There's no place for it to cross. The Soviets may have to kind of wheel back here a little bit to protect getting encircled, and in which case we can get 4th across as well. Okay, so next time, or when I play later today, actually, that's when I plan on doing it, we will get into the south. Now, we have a big pocket here at Lvov, where we've got a lot of Soviet units trapped, so that's nice. And then as we move down here, we'll have to deal with 1st Panzer Group and what we want to do with them. Spoiler alert, they're going to kind of push this way and then straight east as fast as they can. I keep them well clear of Kyiv, which can become a real bottleneck for your panzers. So you want to get them out here in open territory. So we'll be doing that. The Hungarians are not ready to activate yet. They're not ready to go. The Slovaks are. The Slovaks have some units that are ready to go, and the Romanians are ready to run into this war. So it's almost like we've got a whole nother front down here. Well, I guess we could call it South 2 down here. So, you know, it may take a couple of times to get through everything we need to do down here in the south. As you can see, we've got our 11th Army, the Germans do, poised here. We've got all of these Romanian troops that we'll have to figure out exactly what we want to do with them. But there's a lot going on, and I can scoot back here, and you can see this pocket. Turn that. Whoops, didn't mean to break it down. What was I doing there? There we go. It doesn't show these isolated yet. It will when we, but they are. They should be. Yeah, it doesn't show them isolated yet. Interesting. I wonder if it's because they don't really have an out there. But yeah, it's not showing them isolated. Interesting. Well, if we don't have them isolated now, they'll be isolated by the time we get done with this turn. And like I said, we'll get the Panzers rolling, and they should really come down this way. We probably won't take them all the way down here unless we think that's the only way to get some other encirclement. But there's not really anything to encircle here. I think this is like the only unit that's south of the encirclement we have going here. So we'll probably bring them right through here, and on they go. Because ultimately, our big prize in the south is Stalino. That's kind of 1A or 1B. 1A is Rostov. You got to get to Stalino before the mud sets in. We hope to get to Rostov. Let's put it this way. Okay, everyone. That is this episode. Like I said, I'll be back later in the day, and keep moving along. This time in the South, or later on today in the South. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. I always do. Strategy Gaming Dojo here. I